welcome to day 2 in the COVID house. Oops, no. Welcome to Confessions of a Yarn Addict. This is episode 99, I think. I am planning a giveaway on episode 100, which will hopefully be next week, but I will come to that in a minute. If you're new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns, I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through my website, YarnAddict.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. You can find all the notes, all the links, everything I'm going to talk about below this video. So yeah, welcome to the COVID house, day 2. I tested positive for COVID yesterday. Another family member caught COVID last week, I guess, and tested positive on Saturday. I saw that person on Thursday, so I thought, because they didn't have any symptoms till Friday evening apparently, so I thought I might be okay. But Simon had been exposed, but I actually tested positive before Simon, so I was obviously caught it on Thursday evening, I think. My test on Sunday was negative, and I only started having symptoms like Sunday evening, and then I tested yesterday morning and I tested positive, but it was a very, very faint positive line, which I don't know whether this is true or not, but I've been told that means that you have lower viral load, but I don't know if that's true. Simon still tested negative yesterday, but he has probably more symptoms than I do, I think. So yeah, I expect he'll test positive today. But anyway, this is my first time of catching COVID. I actually just edited another video where I say that I never had COVID. And now I got COVID. So anyway, so if I sound a bit funny or I look a bit flushed, that is why. I actually don't feel too bad. Sunday evening I had a bit of a kind of sore throat kind of symptoms. And I coughed a little bit. Yesterday, my sore throat was better, but my voice was very, very croaky. And I definitely had a temperature when I went to bed last night. And I felt a little bit achy when I went to bed last night. This morning, I feel like I have a really bad head cold. And my voice is still a bit croaky and off. So if I don't sound great, that's why. I don't actually feel too bad. I feel tired. I'm not planning to do any work today. I finished editing a video that I started yesterday, and that's just saving now. So if you see me glancing over to my laptop, that's why. And I thought I would try and record this. If I feel well enough this afternoon, I might try and edit it. I might just try and edit it on my phone because that's usually quicker and easier. And I'm not planning to do anything else today. But as I'm feeling not too bad, I'm certainly not feeling ill enough to be in bed all day, and I don't actually like being in bed for longer than I have to because I end up in a lot of pain. I have chronic neck and upper back pain, and lying in bed all day if I don't have to actually makes me increases the pain levels. So I certainly don't want to be in bed if I don't have to. I prefer to get up, shower, get dressed, and try and do something because I feel a lot better. But obviously I'm isolating, so I'm not leaving the house at the moment. So hopefully I can get this edited and up on Thursday and get my newsletter written for Thursday like normal, but we'll see. Okay, so today I'm going to share what I've been knitting this week. I was actually going to film a video starting yesterday of kind of like what I knit in a week. I did this in the summer and I added up how much I knitted every day for a week, and it was less than I thought it was. And it was in the summer, it was quite warm, and I did say then that maybe I should do this again in the winter because I might knit less. But I don't want to do it during a week that I'm teaching. I don't think the week I did it in the summer, I don't think I was teaching that week. If I got a day that I'm teaching, like I taught last Friday, and I barely did any knitting when I got home because I was just too tired because it was a really long day. So I thought this week and next week, I got 2 weeks with no workshops. So I thought I would try and do it this week, but I'm not going to do it because of COVID, because I may not feel up to knitting that much this week if I get worse. I also may not want to film anything later this week if I get worse. So hopefully I might be able to do it next week, but we'll see. So I'm going to show what I've been knitting this week. I finished something. I finished two things actually. Well, nearly finished one thing, nearly finished the other. And I've also got a new magazine design coming up. So let's get started. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Before we start, let me just remind you that I can currently have 15% off my finishing techniques for knitters online course, and I think that ends on either the 26th or 27th. What's the date today? 23rd, 24th, 25th. So this video will be out on the 25th, I think. And I think it ends on the 26th or 27th. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll put the details below, and the code and link and everything else will be below. So if you've been thinking about signing up for the Finishing Techniques online course, you will learn all my finishing secrets, how to block things, steam press things, all that kind of stuff, how to work short row shoulder shaping, how to work a 3-needle cast off, how to seam. We do rows to rows, stitches to stitches, and stitches to rows, how to set in a fitted sleeve cap, how to pick up stitches, how to work 1-row buttonhole, and a few other things. So quite a lot included in that course. So if the worst part of finishing a sweater for you is the actual finishing stuff, then I do recommend that you take this course. I think it's the course that every knitter needs to take, and it's suitable for knitters of all abilities. So whether you are a fairly new knitter or you've been knitting for years, you will probably learn something for this course. Unless you're already a finishing genius, of course, then maybe not. But if you are reluctant to do all the finishing stuff on your sweaters, like sewing up and picking up stitches and all that kind of stuff, or you feel like you could do that better, then I recommend this course. I also have, for the next week, so until the 5th of February, my Stranded Colourwork and Steeking course, or I think the full name is actually Scandinavian Stranded Colourwork and Steeking course, is 15% off until the 5th of February. So the reason I call this Scandinavian Stranded Colourwork and Steeking rather than Fair Isle Knitting and Steeking is because the kind of colourwork I do is more Scandinavian inspired than Fair Isle inspired. The difference is that, strictly speaking, Fair Isle relates to colourwork patterns from the Shetland Islands, and what I do tends to be more Norwegian inspired. Obviously, I think they're used interchangeably a lot of the time, but some people are very fussy about the fact that you should not call it Fair Isle knitting unless it is from the Shetlands. So that's why I call this Scandinavian Stranded Colourwork and Steeking. And obviously I am Norwegian, so I am Scandinavian, so that's why I've called it that. But you will learn how to knit stranded colourwork, one colour in each hand or both colours continental style, how to manage your floats and manage your yarns, make sure the floats aren't too tight or too loose, how to catch the float as you go for longer floats, how to read charts, how to get ready to cut your knitting. So steeking is basically cutting your knitting. So you can either turn a sweater into a cardigan if you cut down the front, or you knit a sweater in the round to the shoulders and then you cut a hole for the sleeves. So all that kind of stuff is included. And that course is 15% off until 5th of February. With all my online courses, you get indefinite access, and you can work through the course in your own time and at your own pace. So you can dip in and out, you can go back to it at a later date, and so you have a lot of flexibility. It's basically a work at your own pace, self-guided course, but if you need help, I am there to answer questions for you. So you will get support if you need it. So I'll put the links to all those courses below and all the discount codes and details that you need. So just go below this video. If you're watching it on your phone or tablet, I think it says more, show more, and you can see the full notes. If you're watching it on the television, it's a little bit more tricky. So go and watch it on your phone or your tablet, and it's a bit easier to see all the notes. Let me know actually if you struggle to find the notes section on YouTube videos. because I always say all details is below this video, but I don't know how many people actually go and look at that. You will also get all the details in my newsletter, so make sure you are signed up to my newsletter, which you can do at yarnaddict.co.uk. The link to that is below as well. Okay, so let's talk about what I've been knitting. Like I said earlier, the 100th episode, which should be next week, I'm going to do a giveaway. I've started a box where I'm kind of collecting a few things for this giveaway. Having said that, because I currently have COVID, if I get worse and I'm not recovered by next week, then obviously there may not be an episode next week. So I normally record on Tuesdays or at the latest Wednesday morning. So I'm assuming I'll be fine by the end of this week. If I get worse and I'm still ill next week, then obviously there may not be an episode, so it might be the week after. But the next podcast episode, there will be a giveaway. So let's chat about what I had been knitting. So let's talk about what I finished first. So this was nearly finished last week. I think with this one, I only had the top edge to do last week. So this is a new cow. I think it's going to be called Luna. I haven't actually tried it on yet. I also haven't blocked it yet. So I finished the top edge since last week. I think I was maybe halfway along here. So it's a folded hem with a picot edge. I just finished that. I finished knitting it a few days ago, but I just sewed it down yesterday evening because I had to press the edge over to make it easier to sew it down. So I haven't worn it yet. I haven't checked if it fits me. It feels like it might be a little bit big, so I'll probably do this one in a couple of sizes, like this being the largest size, because I kind of feel like it's a little bit big. I know, it's okay. I used a smaller needle size for the stocking stitch sections because I knew they would probably be a bit looser. I'm wondering whether I should have gone down a little bit more. So I'm very happy with it. I knitted this to test out the new Nipro Symphony Luna yarn, which is merino and silk. I will do a full review on this yarn in probably a couple of weeks' time. I've tried two of the yarns. They have three main yarns. 100% superwash merino, which I've tried. This one, which is merino and silk, which I've tried. Then they have the 100% superwash merino, but naturally dyed. I assume it's the same base yarn. And then they have the sock yarn, which is called Terra, I think, which I haven't tried yet. Let me just grab something. So 3 other colorways that I bought in the Terra yarn, which is the sock yarn, are these 3. And I was thinking these would make quite a nice fade. This looks brighter and lighter on screen than it does in real life. It's a bit more subtle in real life. I was thinking these will make actually quite a nice fade. So I'm thinking about doing something with those 3. But I don't know what yet. I have a couple other things I need to really finish first. So it's kind of on my kind of radar list, but probably not yet. I'm also looking at the wall at my Truly Hooked Advent from last year, and on the floor on my on the shelf in front of me, the Orchidee Luxury Yarn Advent from 2022. So I feel like I should knit up at least one of those before I start anything else. So I probably won't be doing anything with those 3 yarns yet, but I do think that they will probably become some kind of fade shawl at some point in the future. So I don't know whether to just do a review of the 2 DK Nipro yarns that I've worked with, or whether to wait and just wind some of the Terra yarn and just to test it out. I probably will just do a review of the 2 DK yarns first because they're ready, and I can do that review this week if I feel well enough. So I have a steeking workshop in March, early March, 2-day workshop. I usually teach steeking and strand the colour work over 1 day when I teach workshops. Then we knit a little tiny sample, worked in the round, and then we cut it and do all the things you need to do to be able to cut it. This workshop is over 2 days, so I wanted to come up with a project that would take a little bit longer, because we can spend basically the whole first day and part of the second day mainly on the knitting. So I've designed these hand warmers. I've knitted both samples, but I haven't steeked them yet, so I'm going to do that today. So that is where I'm going to cut it. So I need to crochet out the side of that to secure it, and then cut it and then knit on the edging. So I'm going to try and do that this afternoon. One thing I wanted to point out as well on these is that We talk a lot about colour dominance in colour work, and I've always said in my workshop that I don't think colour dominance in my personal knitting makes any difference. And I've heard other Norwegians say this as well. So I assume it's to do with the way we hold a yarn, but I don't know. A lot of people, especially in Fair Isle knitting, will go on about colour dominance and the fact that you have to be consistent with your yarn management, if you like. And the idea is that one colour will pop out more than the other colour, depending on how you hold it. So normally most people would probably knit with one colour in each hand, which means that one strand on the back strands below the other one and the other one strands above. If you look at the back of your strand of colour work when you knitted, you will see that. And the one, I think it's the one that strands below, which is the one that you would normally hold in your left hand if you knit with one in each hand, should be the one that kind of pops out a bit more. Obviously, I actually hold both yarns in my right hand, but one will still strand below and one will still strand above the other. For one of these, I held the yarn wrapped around my fingers a certain way, and then for the other one, I swapped them around. And I can't tell any difference. So that would give you like the equivalent of knitting with one in each hand and then swapping them over. And I can't tell the difference. Let me know if you think that one of these, the grey, the light grey or the dark grey, pops up more than the other. Because to me, they look identical. So I don't know whether it's the fact that I knit with both yarns continental. Maybe I should do this again, knitting with one colour in each hand, but I don't really like doing that because I can knit much quicker with both yarns continental style now. But I thought I would just mention that quickly as well. I'm going to try and finish these this afternoon because I need to try them on to work out whether I need to make a bigger size or a smaller size. I will normally do 2 sizes. But this one, because of sticking it and the edging and things, you can adjust the size a bit with that as well. I don't think that will be available as a pattern. I think that will just be for my workshops. And I will probably also upload it to my Scandinavian stranded colourwork and sticking class as a practice project if you want to stick something but don't want to do a whole sweater. I'm also thinking about maybe designing another project for that workshop, but I haven't decided yet, so I need to think about it. It depends on how it goes this week and how I feel this week, really. And let's talk about the other project I've been knitting, which is my Rauma alpaca silk sweater, which is the same as my pink one that I wear quite often. I did that on my bed yesterday on top of my pink sweater because it feels like I'm knitted quite a bit below the underarm, and so I just want to see how far I've got. So that's how much I've knitted below the underarm. So I probably knitted 2/3 of what I need for the length of the other sweater. I may make this slightly smaller or slightly shorter. I need to try it on. So that's how much I've knitted since last week. So it's probably the same as what I knitted the previous week, I think. I don't know. Although we went to the cinema last week, so I got a bit more knitting done then. So it might be less than what I knitted last week. But I'm going to move this marker up so I can track how much I knit this week. I really like to try and get the body finished in the next week if I can, and cast on something else. Once I finish the body on this and I start on the sleeves, I need another project that's easy to take out and about with me because this is starting to get a little bit small. Also, we're hoping, if we get over COVID, to go to the cinema next week because I have to go to Plymouth for another eye appointment for my contact lenses to check that my current prescription is okay, which it's still not 100%, but anyway, I'm not wearing them at the moment because being ill, I don't really want to wear them. And also if I'm not feeling 100% and I want to sleep during the day, I don't want to have to worry about wearing my contacts, so I'm not wearing them this week. But I'm thinking about casting on this one for another hat. So I knitted a Musselburgh type hat. The Musselburgh is a very popular hat by Isolde Teague. It's a hat that's knitted in like a long tube and then the one end is put inside the other end, so you get like a double layer hat. And I knitted one for Simon before Christmas and he loves it. And I don't wear hats a lot, but I wore hats more this winter than normal because we've had some quite cold weather. But I am thinking about knitting one for myself, and I have this yarn from Pixie Yarn. It is the Peace Blossom colorway, and I was going to do socks with it, but I think I don't really like socks in like really light yarn because I feel like they get dirty quicker. So I'm thinking maybe knitting a hat in this So I'm thinking about maybe winding this up today. So if I do get worse and I need something that's easy to knit on without too much thinking and that's small, I can just pick this up, because once I get past the crown increases, then it's fairly easy. And also it means that when we go to the cinema next week, if we do go, if this sweater, if I finish the body on this sweater, I can take that if I got past the crown increases. And I also feel if I'm going to knit it for me and actually wear it this winter, I need to get on with it, because it's already towards the end of January, and we may get some cold weather in February, maybe in March, but it's fairly rare to get really cold weather down here in March. So, and I don't wear hats a lot because I do get quite warm when I go out walking. So, although I am going to Norway in March, so I might need it then. So I might take that downstairs for me and wind that up today. I think I'm going to just wind it by hand because I'm can't bothered to pick up my winding equipment and set it up downstairs. So I'll probably just wind it by hand. So that will probably be cast on this week, I think. I also have some sock yarn that I bought in Norway, and I feel like I should cast them for the socks for Simon. But I think I will probably cast this and then do this hat for myself first, and then do the socks for Simon next. But we'll see. So priority this week is to get this body on this finished, and that means at some point later this week I will put it on a barber cord and try it on to see how the length is. And if I'm not sure, I might just put it on the barber cord, leave it on there, and knit the sleeves and the edging around the neck, and then try it on again and see what I think. I like the length on my pink one, but I am thinking about making this slightly shorter, but we'll see. It's my priority project this week, apart from finishing these steek mittens, and then I will probably have to knit another sample for the steek mittens, but I wanted to knit one so I can get the tension and write up the pattern for that and get that off to my tech editor. I was hoping this week, but I will see. I don't think I'm going to do much more work today, apart from maybe editing this afternoon if I feel up to it. I might leave that till tomorrow, and then I'm just going to chill for the rest of the day. I was going to try and do a bit of work this week, but I probably won't get a lot done. So that is what I've been knitting this week. I also want to mention on the 8th of February, if you are in the southwest of England, I'm teaching a stranded colourwork class at Spinny Yarn in Bobby Trace in Devon. It's just south of Exeter. I'm teaching my Diamonds Are Forever cushion. So you learn how to knit with 2 colours, one in each hand, or both continental style if you want to. You'll learn how to manage the floats, manage knitting with 2 yarns, how to read charts, how to cast them for this cushion, how to sew up the edge down here, how to knit the button band and 1-row buttonholes and all that kind of stuff that you need to knit the Diamonds Are Forever cushion. That is a Spinny Yarn on the 8th of February. I'll put the link to that below as well. You'll need to contact them to book that workshop. One thing I nearly forgot to talk about is a new magazine that's out, Knitting Magazine issue 249. The theme is Calm, celebrating the soothing power of knitting, and my design is on the cover, so I'm really excited about that. The sample from Knitting Magazine normally comes back before the magazine comes out. The magazine is out on the day this video is live, and I'm filming this 2 days earlier, but we haven't had the post yet today. So I'm hoping that the sample will be back this week, and then if I'm feeling up to it, I can film a little bit of a video chatting about the sample and the construction method and all that kind of stuff, and upload that as a video on Tuesday next week, but we'll see. It may not come back yet. Other stuff in this video is a little tutorial on steeking. There's some really nice designs in this issue. some crochet, that one, crochet toys, some men's stuff, some homeware stuff, and some colourful stuff. And this is my sweater here. It has a cable running up the front of the sweater. It's knitted in Wool Kitchen, Blueface Leicester Superwash, DK I think. And it has like a cable up the centre front, two cables, one goes that way and one goes that way if you like. So like mirrored cables up the front. It's knitted all in one piece, and the colours are just gorgeous. Absolutely love the colours. Some other designs, most of them are fairly muted. And then there's an article about Danish, designed in Denmark. So there are some very, very popular high-profile designers, independent designers from Denmark. So this just talks about Danish knitwear design. And all like the normal news pages, new product pages, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, in the shops the day this video is live, so 25th I think that is of January, issue 249, Knitting Magazine, my design on the colours. I'm very, very happy with that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Hopefully I will be back with another video next week, if COVID allows. I don't know what my Tuesday video is going to be next week yet. I have one that I've just edited, so it might be that one, but if the sample comes back for this one this week, it might be that. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up or leave a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.